All right. So there's the schedule. I'm not on the schedule. I had to miss the last couple days. It's okay. But we're here today. And here's what we got going on. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to work on this skull right here. And I'm going to show you guys from conception, from this skull, that I just drew out. And it's on a piece of stencil paper. We're going to cut it out with my blade here. Then I'm going to show you guys on the canvas over here, or on this piece of paper, how we go about painting this and turning this into kind of a piece of art. So if you want to follow along later on or something, I'm going to just leave that kind of posed. I'll straighten out the camera on it. And if you want to pause the video and, get a good snapshot or whatever, that's cool. So lo que vamos a hacer hoy es voy a tomar este dibujo que hice y lo vamos a tomar. Está pintado o está dibujado sobre un pedazo de plástico que es para plantillas. Tenemos nuestra navaja aquí y vamos a tomar este dibujo y lo vamos a transformar a un pedazo de arte, y les voy a enseñar unos buenos trucos, unos buenos consejos, lo que sea que les quieras llamar, para usar esta plantilla a lo máximo que se pueda, pues. So I'm going to try to take the stencil, cut it out, and then we're going to try to use it to the best effect, and try to get the most out of this stencil and show you guys some tricks. So I'm just going to start out by cutting out the whole thing. Right. So voy a empezar más por recortar todo eso hacia afuera, o sea, recortar la parte mayor. And so we don't sit here in silence, I'm going to put some music on. Y para que no nomás esté así, nomás silencioso, voy a poner un poco de música. Y sí, si tienen preguntas o si quieren saber algo, nomás pregunten. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just cut out certain pieces, right? So I'm going to cut out the eyes, and then I'm going to cut out the nose, and then this piece around here, and this little spot right here, right? And then I'm going to go over a few things before I make some cuts and explain a couple things. So lo voy a empezar por recortar estas áreas de los ojos, y luego esta área de la boca y esta área de la mandíbula acá. Estas áreas van a ser más negras y más cubridas, o estas las podemos recortar. Y luego de ahí vamos a cambiar. Voy a recortar esas y luego voy a explicar unas cosas antes de hacer unos cortes finales. So. And also, you want to hold on to all these pieces. Don't throw any of them away just yet. We might need those. So. Alright, so as you can see, I have those cut out there. And what I'm going to do next is, this is going to seem strange, but I'm going to just cut the bottom line of these teeth, right? But I'm going to leave a little bit right here just so it's connected. I don't want to disconnect it all the way. I want this to stay together. And then I'm going to leave this little bit of space right here. And then I'm also going to cut the bottom line of this. And you could do the tops if you want to, but I'll explain it to a second. We're going to layer these. And the reason you want it to stay connected is so it stays aligned. But I'm just going to start with this bottom of the teeth here. And just try to be careful. So lo que estoy haciendo es voy a recortar la parte de abajo de los dientes de arriba. O sea, la parte de abajo de los dientes de arriba. Pero quiero dejar un pedacito de aquí, donde no quiero que se desconecte. Más cuidadosamente. Right, and then you got that little bit right there. See? Where it's still connected right at the end right there. Right, and we're going to do the same thing to the top. So tenemos esa parte donde se queda conectado ahí. Y este plástico es muy resistente. So una parte así, aunque le jales muy recio, te va a resistir. Y lo queremos hacer la misma cosa con la línea de abajo. So, dejar un poquito y luego empezar. So just leave a little bit and then start. Right, and on this side you want to cut all the way down. Este lado sí cortamos todo porque queremos que se doble, ¿verdad? Y nomás cuidadosamente sepárenos o separate nice and slowly. Alright. Now that's all nice and bendy, but it's still aligned, right? If we put it back together, it's one whole piece. So kind of the same thing here. This line here, we just want to cut it up to there. We're going to use that to give this full shape, right? You don't want to separate it. Make sure it's nice and bendy, because we're going to use that to give some shading. But we don't want it to split, right? We want everything to stay nice and aligned for us, right? We're just going to lift it up, give it a spray, and we're going to put it back down. Simple. Now this right here, this line right here is just a reference for me, so I know where these cracks kind of go, right? And then this one right here is actually kind of the forehead line, and I do want this, so we're going to go ahead and cut it from about here to there. We're just going to fill that, and we're going to flap it, right? So same thing as this, just a little bit bigger. So igual, esto nomás es para referencia a mí, para que yo sepa dónde están esas cracks, no sé cómo se dice en español, esas faltas pues en el cráneo. Y luego aquí esta parte aquí de los ojos, esto sí lo quiero recortar porque aquí vamos a hacer una línea oscura. ¿Verdad? Y de ahí va a seguir al otro lado. So like that, right? You just want to flap it up. Right, and the cool thing about making a stencil like this is obviously you're going to be able to reuse it over and over. But you could also flip it, right? If you want to do the skull going the other way, you could do that. You know what? Let's do these top teeth too, because it's kind of small. It's a small little skull, like it's about the size of my palm. And I have little hands. Or here you go, like inches wise. This whole thing is about 5 inches tall. Or wait, no. So we're starting here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 inches tall. And about 3 inches wide. So we're going to go ahead and cut the top. Voy a recortar esta parte de arriba también, porque esta plantilla está muy chiquita. Y para hacernoslo más fácil, vamos a recortar la parte de arriba de los dientes. Y más cuidadosamente. Right, so just be nice and careful. Get that nice crease going up and down. Right, and so this is something that even if you're a beginner you could do. But if you have your dagger stroke down really good, you'll be able to really turn this stencil into something magical every time without much effort. It's not going to take you any work because a little stencils can do a lot of it for you. Right, so we got this all cut up. There you go. That's all the cuts we're going to make, right? And you want to keep your pieces over here because we might use these to add some highlights later on. I'll transfer you guys over here to our paper. I love this camera setup. So los voy a mover para acá. Ya tenemos todos nuestros cortes. Ok. Aquí está nuestra plantilla. Voy a ir le voy a hacer spray un poco de pegamento. I'm going to go spray some glue on this. And I'll be right back, guys. So just enjoy a little music. Alright. So as you can see what I've done, I just stuck it on here. So todo lo que hice le puse un poco de pegamento y la pegamos aquí. Y lo que vamos a hacer es vamos a tomar nuestro recorte y le vamos a dar una sombra antes de empezar nada. Aquí a nuestra calavera aquí. Y a un poco de un ángulo así. So I'm just going to start off by giving my stencil a shadow using the same cutout that we used to make the stencil from. So just go over that nice and lightly. And you don't have to glue this down because it's alright if it's a little bit off. So, esa es una manera muy simple usando el recortado que usamos para hacer la plantilla y darle una sombra, right? So we're just adding a shadow quick with our little cutout here. Quick and easy, fast. That's tip number 1 there for you, right? tip number one while spraying. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start off with a little bit of gray, right? And I'm just going to kind of fill all these areas in, right? We've determined these are dark areas. We're going to fill them in. Right? And then this is where our flaps come in, right? So I'm going to start off with this flap, and I'm just going to go over the top edge. So ya nomás lo estoy cubriendo con gris. Todas estas áreas van a estar oscuras. Es bien cubrirlo con gris primero. Y luego esta área aquí lo vamos a levantar y nomás le voy a echar un poco de gris sobre la línea de arriba, ¿verdad? So just over that top. Bam. That's all. Same thing over here. Just gonna come off the edge, right? And just a little bit off the edge there. Boom. Simple, fast, and you can even push them back down once you're done. Now the teeth, right? We have the teeth to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift this whole top here, and then we're going to spray the top of the teeth. And you just want to do this kind of lightly. Just quick, really light. I don't know if you can see that. My fingers are probably in the way. It's really light in there. Right? Nomás ligeramente en esa área. Y pegarlo para atrás, para abajo. Y luego lo mismo con la mandíbula de abajo. Vamos a levantar la mandíbula. So we're going to lift the bottom jaw up. Do the same thing coming off the bottom teeth, right? Off the bottom of the teeth here. So igual lo mismo, más ligeramente así. Y luego vamos a levantar los dientes de abajo. So now we're going to lift the bottom teeth up. Right? And you got to be selective on your layers here. And lift that up. Right? And what we're going to do here, you can take your piece that you cut off, usando un pedazo de los ojos que recortamos, vamos a darle unas líneas de los dientes de abajo, ¿verdad? So I'm just going to use this to give the lines of the bottom teeth. So just carefully put this in there. Because, whoop, a little too much. Just lightly. And there you go. Right, and if you want to run it over the bottom of those teeth, that's fine. You can put that back in there. And then we're just going to give this edge a little soft shadow using the gray. Simple. Nomás le vamos a dar ligera una sombreada a este lado, ligeramente con el gris, y luego vamos a cambiar con el negro, ¿verdad? So now we're going to come in with some black. And again, you see this little mandible spot? Make sure you hit that. Maybe get this little dark area behind the skull. So esta área aquí donde se hunde la calavera. También agarren esa área, la parte de la mandíbula. Pongan su plástico para abajo. Push it down, hold it down, and just add coming off the top and a little bit off the bottom. You don't want to just fill it up, shade it in. Right? Give it a little bit of shading. So no nomás lo rellenen en negro. Dejen un poco de gris que resalte el gris. Así. Y igual, ¿verdad? Aquí con las calaveras le vamos a dar negro arriba. Y luego hacia el lado. Y luego dejar que un poco del gris resalte. So you want to let that gray stick out. You don't want to just fill it in all black. Right? Same thing. You could even use your finger here. Take that, cover that. Go along the edge there. And let that gray stick out. Right? And then we have our nose here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this piece. And again, we're going to separate the nose. So you see, we just use that to create a separation in the middle. And then we shade it over on this side. And then bam, you got like a little indentation in the inside of your nose. So usando la parte del ojo que recortamos, nomás la ponemos ahí, le damos un poco de negro a un lado y resalta la parte del medio de la nariz, ¿verdad? So, that's that. Y luego aquí, a toda esta orilla aquí, nomás le damos a dar un poco de sombreado con el negro. So along the edge where the shadow is, we're just going to shade that in. Put a little bit black, make sure it's darker on the edge of the skull. Bam. You don't have to do too much more than that. Maybe add a little darkness where it's sitting. And there you go. So I think that's pretty much it. Besides this, just go back around that edge. Nomás esta área aquí. Bam. Now we could take off our stencil, right? You don't really want to hit the teeth because the teeth are going to be part of the work. Alright, so just carefully take this off. Bam. Now you have your skull. It's nice and laid out. And all you have to do is add your little bit of freehand work around it, right? So this is where, if you already have, this cut out, it's a good idea to use this. So like for this little jaw thing right here, we're going to come in and we're going to start with some gray, right? See right here? This jaw. So usando la misma plantilla, nomás le voy a hacer la mandíbula aquí, usando la parte de abajo y con un poco de gris. Voy a darle un poco de gris hacia abajo. Bam. Y luego aquí, nada más vamos a usar el gris y vamos a sacar nuestra sombra hacia atrás. Bam. And then, same thing. See, you already have that nice little teeth area there. But you kind of need to blend this area in right here. You see that? So you go in there. And this is when you really start focusing in on these small little areas and you start, shading the in between the teeth. So ya teniendo tu forma allí, ya sabes dónde todas tus áreas van. Y aquí ya es cuando tú usas tu mano libre, tu mano de obra, pues. Y empiezas a darle forma con tu sombreado, pues. Es muy bueno empezar con gris y luego cambiar a otro color como negro. So, once it's all kind of laid in for you, it's the rest is just these small little strokes and just kind of giving it shape. Not going overboard and just working in the gray, nice and easy. Right? And we got right there. And if you have your skull you want to work off of, then you have a good idea of where your shadows go. Once you do it a few thousand times like I have, then you have a pretty good idea without needing to do that. And just go ahead and add all this in. And you're gonna kind of be just liberal with the gray because we are gonna cut in with some white. So don't worry. So cuando empiecen, como pueden ver, nomás obviamente nomás le estoy dando diseño con el gris, nomás le estoy dando forma y área y más ligeramente cubriendo todas las. Si tienen demasiado gris está muy bien porque le vamos a dar para atrás con el blanco. So no se preocupen mucho si hacen una falla o algo así, no se preocupen, vamos a cambiar todo eso en un momento. So voy a cambiar un poco de blanco. I'm just going to switch over to some white. Right, and the camera's like not focused right, so try to get it to focus pretty good. Alright, so those cutouts we made, right? We need to find the one for the nose, which is this one. That's the eye. Oh, there it is. So we're just gonna take that edge here, line it up. It doesn't even have to be perfect actually, but you get perfect, that's good. And then we just add a little bit of white highlight there. You're coming off the top. Nomás le estamos agregando blanco para darle forma. Y pam, resalta esa área un poco más, ¿verdad? So certain areas start to pop, right? Again, we're going to use a little bit of white. We're just going to come in here. A little bit of freehand. Just kind of work in your areas that you were working in with the gray. Just get in there nice and close. You want to define that little notch in the nose. That's cool. So todo mano libre, nomás agréguenlo lo mejor que puedan. Me gustaría que la cámara se quede enfocada. Okay. Agregándole el color a los dientes. So just building the teeth here. Because they are kind of already shaded into the top, you don't have to color in the whole tooth. You just color in the little areas. Add some highlights to the jaw. You know. Get that nice blend in there. Same thing on the other side. There you go. Now, if you got too much gray here, right? Like mine's pretty good. But if you got too much gray near the area here, you could go back and put your eyepiece, right? So this one goes there. Or backwards. Right here like this. Right, and then you could spray white along that edge. And that's a good way to, you know, add your white highlights, keep it nice and crisp, and get the most out of your stencil, right? So I'm actually going to use it for the bottom here. See the bottom there? Can add a little bit of a touch. Now I kind of want to keep it there to keep the overspray off, and it gives you a nice clean look when you're done, right? And obviously, if you're working on something bigger, you know, it helps a lot more. This is really tiny, so it's pretty good for this kind of stuff too if you're trying to get really good detail. And if, say, you're trying to do them over and over and over again, a lot of them. So, you know, just get your nice... But it's always good to throw your freehand work in there. Give it some nice soft tones. You don't want everything to just be stiff and hard. Right? And so then your same cutout, we're going to use this. Right? We're going to line it up. And we're going to use this to add some highlights here. And I'm kind of giving it some texture as I go. I don't want to just fill it in white, you know, because that's boring. Kind of being quick about it, but you really wanted to get in there and give it some texture. Bam. Take that off. And zoom it back. And then you can really get a good look in areas you might want to darken, right? So I like this area here, but I think it needs to be a little darker, right? So the good thing about having a stencil that you could reuse is you could always just line it back up and reuse that part. Right? You want to darken that up. Get in there, put some black on it. Gives you a good base. You just shade it up. And then I think this area here too needs to be a little darker. I do like it with the gray, but I do want there to be some more black. So, todas las áreas donde necesiten trabajo es bueno tener la plantilla, ¿verdad?, de plástico que puedan reusar, porque en cualquier área la pueden tomar y la pueden sacar otra vez y usarla donde ustedes crean que necesitan un poco más de color, un poco más de detalle. So, just line it up pretty good. There you go.
I know.
And you know, you can keep chipping at it if you want to, but again, like, this is a pretty small skull. If I was gonna fill this whole paper up, you know, it'd be really cool. I'm trying to control this thing. There you go. So yeah, there's your kind of tips and tricks for today on how to take a little, you know, drawing. Don't forget, we started with that drawing and we took it all the way and turned that stencil into something like this. And obviously you keep working on it if you wanted to, add more detail or whatever. But, you know, that's the basic premise, and then you're able to redo that. Like if you wanted to make another one of these, or if you wanted to replicate this over and over, you know, you have your nice cutout already ready. And a good tip for washing these is leaving them in warm soapy water, and this paint will pretty much peel off after 15 minutes. So ahí tienen su consejo por hoy, todos sus consejos pues de cómo tomar un dibujito que hice y convertirlo en un dibujo así. Y esto es muy bueno si quieren hacerlo una y otra vez, muchas veces la misma calavera o el mismo dibujo. You know, esta es una muy buena forma de hacer eso, o de que, you know, tengan el mismo resultado múltiples veces. Y luego esto es un buen consejo para limpiarlo, ¿verdad? Después de que ya lo tengas, ya lo hayas usado, es dejarlos con agua y jabón tibia y dejarlos como unos 15 minutos, y luego toda esa pintura se te va, nada más se cae pues, y te queda nada más el plástico bueno y limpio para usar otra vez. También el pegamento se quita después, como 15 minutos, con un poco de jabón y agua tibia. So there you go. I hope you guys liked the video. Hope that helps you guys, some of you guys out, and we'll see you guys in the next video. So ojalá les ayude ahí el video y nos vemos en el video que sigue al rato.